my little chicken and dumplings. This morning we're gonna do another foundation wear test. I'm gonna compare the L'Oreal Pro Glow. On Ulta it's $12.99. I don't know that I paid that for it. You can usually find it on sale. And then on the other half of the face we're gonna do the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. You get the same amount, 1 fluid ounce. For some reason this looks bigger. The packaging is glass, it's nicer. This is on Ulta $39. And so 40 bucks or 13 bucks. So we're gonna see what the difference is or if there's a difference. L'Oreal Pro Glow is a really good foundation actually. So I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit, put it on my hand. And then today I'm gonna use a brush. I'm using the Hourglass foundation brush. This is like a $40 brush. You don't have to get this expensive of a brush. There are other brushes out there that are really good. You just have to get one that has shorter bristles. This is a really pretty foundation. I don't like mine really full coverage. I just like it to kind of even out my skin tone. If I get it too full coverage, I start to look really cakey. It starts going in all of mama's crevices. There ain't no need to accentuate those. Okay, now I'm gonna take the Born This Way and do 1 pump. Yeah, that works out to be about the same. I'm gonna dot this on and we'll see. This seems to be a little more full coverage. It goes on really smooth. Let me make sure that's all evened out. I did a video, my first one that I ever did, and the whole video I didn't have like the top of my forehead blended out, and so the whole time when I was rewatching it during editing, I was like, oh my gosh, you didn't blend. Okay, so I still have that much left. I'm just gonna take a little dot of that. I get red. I have a lot of redness on my cheeks right here. But I'm gonna start trying a new serum to see if I can get rid of that redness. It's a Korean skincare product. Let me tell y'all, those Korean skincare products are fantastic. They are very affordable. They have so much more advanced technology than American skincare products. So this one has snail mucin. To me, that sounds like snail mucus or snail poo-poopy-doos. I really need to look into what that really means, but I'm kind of scared too because I've seen such good results on people for like a $24 serum. Miraculous results on redness and moisture in the skin. And so I'm like, do I really want to know what that means? Probably not, but I'll find out. This side is the Born This Way. I still have this much left. So, same amount of coverage. And I really did use about half the product with the Born This Way. Even with that, if I have to use double the product for L'Oreal Pro Glow, that would be, what, 24, 25 bucks? And this one is still 40. So we're still looking at a more expensive product. I'm gonna let that just kind of sit for a minute and see if we need to set it down with powder. I'm gonna do my eyes real quick. This isn't about the eyes, but there is some eyeshadow I wanted to show you guys. I'm using my paint pot from MAC for my eyeshadow primer. I've used this for like 20 years. I love it. I get it in Painterly. Sometimes I'll get it in ochre. Ochre has more of a yellow base to it. But I will tell you that I do use the Anastasia Beverly Hill eyeshadow primer when I am doing a really light or bright eyeshadow look because it's a white base and it's fantastic, but it's pretty thick, so I don't use it as much. The eyeshadow primer is going to block the oils from my lid, so my eyeshadow will last better all day. And I don't always set this, but I'm going to today. And what I mean by set is I'm going to throw some powder over it. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. So it looks like it's in fair. What else would it be in? So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and just put a little bit of that over my eyeshadow primer because the colors that I'm gonna use today are kind of dark and I don't want them to stick to the primer and have like a wad of color that I can't then blend out. And then I'm also going to go under my eyes today, just like the other foundation review. I'm not going to use a concealer, which I would use a concealer normally, but I don't want it to interfere with the foundation. So I'm just going to use my under eye color corrector from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is in light. Ooh, that's a lot. Okay, that's one little swipe, and that's all I'm going to do because Mama's under eyes can get cakey, and I do not want pancake batter under eyes. You know, I wonder where they got the term cakey. I bet that it was from that pancake foundation that you would get like Max Factor or Maybelline, CoverGirl. They probably all had one where it was like in a compact like this and it just had a sponge and you just picked it up and then just smeared it on your face. I think they called it pancake. Did they? That's kind of an odd term for this. But anyway, I don't want it to look gross. All right, so let me do my eyes real quick. These little suckers are so good. This is from e.l.f. e.l.f. I've learned stands for, what does it stand for? I don't know. I forget. I'll find out. It has a name. It's an acronym for something. I know face, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, this is Drugstore, and these are mini palettes, and they have all different kinds of colors. I'll show you a couple more. Here's a blue, here's like a taupe, and these are $3. $3, and they work great. I say that, and then I'm probably about to blow it with this. I'm hoping that it works well. It has in the past. So I'm going to go in very lightly with this color right here. I know it looks scary. Look, I'm just I'm gonna do my brush off, and I'm gonna start right here on this outside and just pat a little bit of color. I've got a fluffy brush, and then with little circular motions, I'm gonna go up. I'm not going down. I'm gonna go up. And then I'm going to start going over a little bit into the crease. I just want to have a little bit of green right up here because I really like green eyeshadows. I like all kinds of warm tone eyeshadows. Like warm tones are my thing. And I guess that's why for years I just thought that my skin was warm toned, because I liked warm tones on my eyes. I don't know why that made sense in my head. I thought, oh, these look the best on me, so I am warm toned. I'm not warm toned. Warm tone means that you got yellow in your skin tone. And I've got a lot of things in my skin tone, but yellow and olive undertones, that is not me. I'm red, pink, white, translucent. That's me. So I kind of am cool, which is a pinky undertone, but really I'm just kind of neutral. That's the story of my life. Well, I don't stand out on either side of the spectrum, and I'm okay with that. I mean, that color looks really scary. It's not. I'm gonna do one more little dip. See how far back I'm holding my brush? So you'll just get a little peekaboo of color. We're gonna bring it out a little bit and down so that our eyes kind of go. Now, the reason I did not use this lighter color is this lighter color has just a little bit of a shift, and it's gorgeous, but I don't want that in my crease or on these wrinkles much, because that's just gonna make them look worse. So that's just a little bit of color. It doesn't look too grass green like that on my eye. Now I'm gonna take a clean blending brush. See, this is a big fluffy brush. This is a Sonia G I think this is actually a face brush. It's called her Detail Pro. This is a natural hair brush, which is softer than synthetic brushes. They're more expensive, but these are an investment that at my age, they're totally worth it because I'll have this brush for the rest of my life. See how it does not move my eyelid? Like my eyelid doesn't pull on because it's so thin. So I'm just gonna take this and just buff. Blend, blend, that's the key. Okay, so we've got this. That's a beautiful little shade. Now I'm gonna take a smaller brush. This is a Sonia G Worker Pro. It's more compact, it's thinner. I'm gonna take this brush with just a little bit of this darker shade. See? And I'm just gonna put a little bit right there. Another little dippy dip. And just right here. Then I'm gonna take this clean blending brush. Actually, I'm not gonna take that big one. I'm gonna take a smaller. And I'm just going to really lightly blend that up and a little bit over. Down here just a little bit. And I'm just trying to get a little bit more shadow on the outside of my eye. I'm doing little circular motions and then I'm gonna just bring it up a little bit and out. This darker shade needs a little bit more time to blend out, but that's okay. For $3, we'll take a little bit more time. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of this beautiful shade with the sheen. I'm just doing it on my finger and I'm just gonna pop it kind of right in the middle and pat it into that darker color just to blend it over. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I make the weirdest faces when I'm putting on my makeup. Then I'm gonna take this color on my other finger and right on the inside. It's kind of a yellowy. And what this does is it just creates this beautiful little ombre look all the way over. Okay, now isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, it is. I'm gonna take a little pencil brush, just like this, and I'm gonna go in this shade right here and just put a little bit of this under my eye. Bring it over. Same thing, just right at my lash line. I mean, right at it. Like in my lashes. Okay, and then just a little bit like deep on the very outside corner. And then I'm gonna take this and kind of go up just a little bit. Same thing, deep. Outside corner, just go up just a little bit. This outside corner is deeper than this outside corner. I don't know if that makes sense, but when I stamp it on there, it goes in farther. Okay, then so that doesn't look super harsh, I'm just gonna take this. This is a MAC. This is an old MAC. MAC has changed their brushes since this. This is a natural hair brush and now they've gone to all synthetic. I don't know that I'd fool with them anymore then for that price. If you want synthetic brushes, Sigma has fantastic brushes. They're not all great for mature skin. BK Beauty has the very best, in my opinion, brushes for mature skin that are synthetic. And I'm gonna do a whole review over her brushes. So anyway, I'm gonna blow this out. When I say blow this out, what that means is I'm just blending it. It's just kind of a fancy way to say you're blending it, just so it doesn't look as harsh. Now that seems like that took a long time, but really, if I wasn't talking and showing you guys, I could get this done in just a few minutes. So that's a beautiful green. I like greens. I am going to put a little bit from a different palette up here because that girl from MAC years ago who told me that I needed to complete the look of my face with stuff on my eyebrow. Otherwise, it looked bad. She just made me really nervous about it. It was to sell a product, I'm sure. I'm just gonna clean off that same little brush And I'm just gonna take a matte. You could use a shimmer. I don't want to today. I just want to do a matte, like bone color, cream. I know for years I used matte creme brulee or shroom. Anybody remember those colors? Anybody use those? I still like those colors. But I've just found other things that aren't as expensive that are just really as good. It's hard to believe, but these companies kicked up their makeup game, man. I'm gonna do brows real quick, just with my favorite Too Faced Busy Gal brows. This is a great product. If you have brow hair, if you don't, if you're a victim of the 90s and it plucked your brows and now they haven't really grown back in and you have to draw in your brows, then I don't know what to tell you. Actually, I do know what to tell you. Anastasia Beverly Hills has the dip brow. It's a pomade, but also Maybelline has a good one. There's some good ones that don't cost, $28 or whatever. Although those products should probably last you like 2 or 3 years. A little bit of mascara. This is my favorite right now from Thrive Cosmetics. I still like L'Oreal mascaras. They have fantastic mascaras. I use Voluminous for like 25 years. And this is one that has finally maybe taken its place, because I've tried mascaras over the years. MAC mascaras make my eyes itch, so I can't wear their mascaras. And plus, I never liked any of them enough. I can get L'Oreal Voluminous, and it is fantastic. They have a new one called Telescopic. It's nice, really nice. So I'm gonna try that one compared to this one, because this one's like, I think it's 22 or 24. It's high. You do get a lot in it. I haven't regretted this purchase because I do really like it. It's a tubular mascara. I didn't really know what that meant. That sounds like something we would say in the 80s, like, yo, like, so cool, man, that's totally tubular. So it doesn't mean like awesome. What it means is that the mascara coats the lash, and so it doesn't smear. And when you take it off, it just like comes off and kind of crumbles instead of like liquidy smearing. Let's feel the foundation. It's still pretty sticky. It's still pretty tacky. So I am gonna set this foundation just with a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just gonna, just a little bit, just kind of pat it over there, because I don't want a whole lot of powder on my face. Powder on wrinkles is bad. I do like the Laura Mercier translucent. That's probably my very favorite setting powder. That powder is fantastic. It looks like I'm using a lot, but I'm not. I'm just barely touching that and just putting that in. I'm going to use this bronzer from Ofra Cosmetics. This is River, and Ofra is kind of an indie brand. Indie brand means independent. I didn't know that. I like to support these little brands instead of this huge, major, big O brands, because I've got my own home business, income tax business, and it's good to use these little brands. It's a great product. I don't remember how much it was, but it was, it's like mid-range. It's not Wet n Wild prices. Physicians Formula has a really good bronzer, I've heard. I haven't tried it. So I'm just gonna put a little color into my white face. And then I'm gonna use another indie product. This is from JD Glow. This is actually, I think, maybe a highlighter for deeper skin tones. But I just thought this was gorgeous, and I'm going to use it as a blush, and it will kind of be my highlight, because I'm not going to add an extra highlight to this. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. I think it was $16, which isn't bad. This is in the color Serenity. And I'm just going to take just a tiny bit down my honker over my Cupid's bow and my little creasy linies. Last thing I'm going to do is just kind of buff my face in very lightly with a powder. Just kind of buff around all the edges of this. Take that blushy highlighter down just a little bit. I want to try this Butter Gloss by NYX. I'm a little scared. This color looks really bright. That's pretty. These NYX Butter Glosses, you can get them online at Ulta for $3. Feels really good. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but we'll find out. We will find out. So here's the finished look. This half of the face, L'Oreal Pro Glow. This half of the face, Too Faced Born This Way. We're gonna see how they last. We're gonna check in at 4 hours. Quit touching your face, Jenny. And then we'll check in at the end of the day. I don't know how many hours that'll be, but it'll be at least 8. All right. I wanted to give you a look. This is the Born This Way. My reading glasses, so don't pay attention to that, but it seems like it's like settled. I noticed like at 2 hours into this that the Born This Way had settled more into my pores. And this is the L'Oreal. I think it looks good. I'm liking this side, the L'Oreal Pro Glow, better, but we will do another check-in. I haven't put any more lip gloss on. This is what that 4 hours later, what this that NYX lip gloss looks like. So it's pretty much gone. This has been on for 9 hours. Let's look at the eyeshadow. It's worn down some. It's still really pretty, but for a $3 eyeshadow palette, I mean, good grief, this did really well. The foundation, it's pretty sunk into my pore, the Born This Way side. And then this is the L'Oreal Pro Glow. Neither side feels really heavy or anything. I think that you don't need to spend 40 bucks on a foundation. If L'Oreal Pro Glow is a great foundation, it's gonna last. This is my opinion. It's the Born This Way. I'll use it up because I have it, but I will not be repurchasing that one. Oh, powder, where are you? I like a little extra. I'm a face toucher. Is anybody else a face toucher? This band is so tight. I got a big head, like large